is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the matchup between the Paris Legion and the OPTIC Chicago. This match is going to be played in the day 3 of the CDL stage 2 of the Call of Duty League. Now, this game is going to be part of a 3-game slate on DRAFTKINGS. For those of you who know DRAFTKINGS already, this is going to be the first game in the 3-game slate, and it's going to be part of the 6-game slate that includes Saturday and Sunday. So for those who aren't familiar with Call of Duty DraftKings, it is an app. DraftKings is an app where you can basically make money by just watching your favorite esport, whether it be Rocket League or Call of Duty or Valorant on FanDuel, and esports like that. So I focus on Call of Duty so far on this channel, and basically DraftKings allows you to make passive income by betting money on Call of Duty games like these, like against the Paris Legion, against the OPTIC Chicago. The way this is done is, you can pick a group of players out of a player pool based on whatever games are going on during the day, based on a salary system, and you make your lineups and you go up against other players, and therefore you can make money based on where your lineup places at the end of the day. After all the games are over, whoever has the most points wins money. So it's a very fun way of making money watching the esport and love. Just getting to chill back and making money from the couch is just a very great feeling that I want a lot of people to know how to do. So for this specific video, we're going to be breaking down the Paris Legion against the OPTIC Chicago. If you weren't aware, the Paris Legion played a game against the Minnesota Rocker, which you are seeing here right now. They played a match against this team yesterday, Friday, and they ended up 3-0ing the Minnesota Rocker. Now, let me tell you, I've said it time and time again, these teams like the Paris Legion and the New York Subliners are coming up hard, and they're coming up fast. So the Paris Legion is a legit team now. They have validated themselves. They have proven themselves to be a legit team, 3-0ing multiple teams. Minnesota Rocker got 3-0'd by them, and Paris Legion looked pretty dominant. Now, Paris Legion lost to the OPTIC Chicago the first game they played together. So the Paris Legion haven't played the OPTIC Chicago since stage 1, previous stage of the Call of Duty League, and they got swept by OPTIC Chicago the first time they played, first and only time they played. They got swept. However, this team has came a long way since then, and they have been dominating, to say the least. They're actually a pretty solid team. Scraps, Classic, Aqua, and Fire are actually a pretty legit team. Now, their prices have been steadily rising. Obviously they've been producing more. They've been producing a lot more, so their prices have been going steadily up. I usually like looking at Aqua first. Usually Aqua seems to be overpriced most of the time, but Aqua has been one of those players who is like silently just putting up a lot of points on a DraftKings. The last game, this game specifically, this match against Minnesota Rocker, he posted up to 120 points. Now, granted, that was like 40 points more from the sweep, the technical sweep, so they got the 40 points extra, but still, he went off, and I believe he went almost double positive. So Aqua, good player. I just don't know if against OPTIC he's going to do that great. OPTIC is a very strong team, and so far they've proven that they got what it takes to 3-0 the Paris Legion. That might change tomorrow. That might change, but we don't know yet. So for this reason, I would skip on Aqua personally, but he's still a decent play if you really want to make like a Paris Legion stack. Now, for as far as Classic goes, Classic is one of the cheaper players in the slate. His captain price is 9,900, and his flex spot is 6,600. So Classic isn't as bad as his price would indicate. He actually has posted 2 100 plus point games in DraftKings, and he also has a couple of 94 point games and 80 point games in his in his resume. So this dude is no slouch. At 6,600, I feel that if the Paris Legion push this series to a game 5 at the very least, I feel like Classic is going to pay off on his price of $6,600. I just feel like at that price, he can very easily pay off his value based on what he's shown us on his basically on his stat sheet. It's Minnesota 94, Florida 80, Atlanta he posted 115 fantasy points. So if Classic and the Paris Legion can push the Atlanta Face to a game 5, they sure as hell can do it against the Optic Chicago. So I have confidence that if this team explodes, Classic is going to be a big part of it, as well as Fire and Scraps. I really like their prices right now. I really like their prices. Classic, Fire, and Scraps are at very good prices for the flex position. However, the reason is because of their matchup. Obviously, they're going up against Chicago. If it weren't for that reason, I would really stack up on Paris because they're actually a pretty legit team. Now, if we look at Fire, his cap 10,500. I usually don't like putting players that I don't think are gonna win the series on the captain spot, because I usually feel like, if they don't play more than 2 games, or if they play only 2 games at their maximum potential and get swept, or if they only play 4 games, they might not deliver enough on their price, especially if their team loses. So the reason I think Paris Legion is not gonna win, so I'm not gonna be putting any of those players in the captain position, with the exception of maybe Classic. Maybe if I can, if I need somebody very cheap, but I doubt it. Um, Fire, I feel like his he's actually posted up 3 100 plus point games in a row so far, and I feel like Fire at 7,000 is extremely cheap. Now, if the Optic Chicago even as much as choke one map, I feel like Paris Legion might put up good stats. Fire and Classic and Scraps and Aqua, they just have the upside. This team has the upside. I believe they have the upside to probably maybe beat Chicago. I know they have what it takes. It's just, you know, what are the odds that that happens? It's very slim. Optic Chicago is still a very good team. We got to respect them. So, honestly, I feel like Classic, Fire, Scraps are good values. If you aren't scared of the Optic Chicago and you have an extra slot and you need one more player, and the only players that you see are in that within that 6,600 to 7,600 range, I feel like Paris Legion should be a comfortable fit if you believe that they can go the distance and push the Optic Chicago to a game 5. Now, for the team prices, I wouldn't touch them. I don't think they're worth it for Paris, because I doubt they 3-0 Optic Chicago. Um, as for the Optic Chicago themselves, I feel like Scump is always at a very cheap price at 6,800. I feel like Scump at the flex position and Scump at the cap position is actually really good values, both of those positions, because at the cap you can put a solid player at a cap at a discounted price, which allows you to fit more good players on your flex positions that are maybe more expensive. And I've shown this in previous videos where I've made winning lineups like this, where I put a very solid player who I know is going to win the series, who is very cheap, on the captain position, and then I just fill the team with expensive players that I otherwise couldn't afford if I didn't have somebody so cheap on the captain position. Now, Scump is obviously the value play here. Formal has been going absolutely nuts recently. I believe Formal has had 4 or 5 100 plus point games, fantasy point games so far, and his price went up about 1,200 from last game where they played the LA Thieves, and I feel like Formal is a good value. I just feel like at 8,200, I don't know if he's gonna deliver so much this game. I do believe The last game that they played against Paris, he did post 114 points, so he's still a good value. At the cap spot, I believe that there are other players that I'd rather put than him at the cap spot specifically. He's a deal sometimes when he's cheaper, but right now at 12,300 for that cap spot, I wouldn't be comfortable paying that for him. Um, I feel like Dashi is like a lock for this team because Dashi has literally only posted 100 plus point games with the exception of the last game that they lost, which I believe it was towards. Oh no, actually, I'm wrong. The only game he posted less than 100 fantasy points was against the LA Thieves. And honestly, I feel like Dashi is a key player. He should be on your radar as one of the top dogs that you should have in your lineup. Him and Hugh are going to be really important for lineups. Yeah, Dashi is usually always the workhorse. If not, it's Envoy. Envoy's pretty expensive. I feel he does deliver sometimes. At a flex price, 9,400, he is pretty good, solid value. He had 114 points against Dallas. He had 105 points against New York and 140 against Florida. So Envoy is a good price as well. I just feel if I had to pick two players from each of the teams, if I had to, absolutely had to, I would pick Envoy and Dashi. Um, if I really had to, Envoy and Dashi for Optic. I feel like they are the two prime spots in this match. I feel like Scump I could fit in. Obviously, he's a good player, and I'd want him in my team. But sometimes Scump doesn't deliver to the maximum of his potential, so that could affect. But recently, he's been doing great. So I would say Envoy, Dashi, or Scump. I feel like Formal has had his little good run for now, and I think he's gonna chill a bit. And if I had to pick two from the Paris Legion, I would have to pick either Fire or Scraps. I have to go with Fire or Scraps. These two dudes are pretty nasty. So yeah, I think the Optic team prices at 5,400 for cap. I would not touch that. At the team position, 3,600 is a safe bet. If you think they're going to win, if you think they're going to win the series, it is a safe bet. The odds are minus 375 for Optic Chicago to win. So yeah, I would definitely consider that in my lineups. So if you like the content, if you like the way I break down the games, if you think I could do something better or you got any input for me so I can, make these breakdowns easier to understand or more fluent, feel free to leave a like or dislike or subscribe and leave a comment if you feel like too. I'm just trying to help grow the Call of Duty betting scene for daily fantasy sports basically and DraftKings. So if you like this, feel free to stick around and I'll probably be supporting other esports in the future as well. We got to see how this goes, and I love talking about Call of Duty and Call of Duty betting in general. So if you like the content, you know what to do, and thanks for watching.